can. And next question is from same person. If WWE ever let their wrestlers go all out again, what would you expect from a Matt Hardy versus Matt Sydal, a.k.a. Evan Bourne? I think this match, even now, would be pretty good. I mean, pretty much neither one of these guys has really held back too much. Obviously, Matt Sydal, his, fast-paced actions, derailed a little, but not as much. I mean, how many people actually thought that WWE was going to allow him to do the Sydal's press? So, I mean, just them allowing the shooting star back in WWE, that's saying something, and I guess WWE does like him because that move has been banned from wrestlers using for a long time until Matt Sydal brought it back. And, Matt Hardy's, a good wrestler. I think this match, even now, would be very good. Obviously, if it would have to be one of those matches, I wouldn't say they have to be, let off the leashes, because pretty much they're not held back, these two, too much as far as their wrestling skills goes. But it will have to be one of those matches to get at least a good lengthy match. a 15, 20-minute, possibly 25-minute match could be great between these two. And next question is from Weeboy619. Do you think that CM Punk is going to have a long title reign, and who is he going to lose the title to? I can't expect him to see a long title reign after what we saw this past Monday on Raw. Don't really know what they're going to go with on the SummerSlam pay-per-view. Obviously, it looks like they're going to do a Batista and Cena first time ever one-on-one match. And I guess possibly, Kane versus JBL versus CM Punk in a three-way or something on the lines of that. If they book, a JBL versus Kane versus CM Punk match, it could almost go either way because pretty much they don't want Kane to probably get defeated, lose the match because, they're doing this whole angle with the dead or alive thing, and him taking a loss at SummerSlam would kind of hurt him a little, and it will make him lose some steam. CM Punk, hopefully they'll have him run as champion for a little while, and they need to make his title reign a whole lot more meaningful than what it is. It's not really meaningful at all. They need to do a whole lot more, actually have him win matches instead of matches just ending by disqualification and stuff. And who I think he's going to lose it to, possibly the returning Randy Orton or John Cena. I think one of them two are probably going to be the ones to defeat him. Unfortunately, hopefully they won't go the route with JBL defeating them. But JBL is well liked by Vince, but Vince and Linda McMahon both do like CM Punk, and with this whole straight edge thing, that could, add him a few more months as world champion, make it look like, oh, we're pushing this one guy as world champion, that's straight edge. So they might bank off of that for a little bit. Next question is from Kenobi. What do you think is Austin Arie's best ROH title defense? It's hard to narrow this down. I would say the one that had so many twists and turns and it was such a great match and so much good stuff in it was when he lost the Ring of Honor title to CM Punk at Death Before Dishonor 3. That's probably one of my favorites. Other title reigns he had that I enjoyed a lot was him and Homicide from America Super Juniors, which pretty much was a show that got really hurt with the New Japan booking of Dragon Soldier B winning. If anyone's seen that event, knows what I'm talking about with him. And other matches I liked his little short feud that he had with Colt Cabana, and you had him and Bryan Danielson have a great match. But yeah, like I said, him and CM Punk is probably my favorite match because it was one of those matches that had so many mark out stuff in it. You thought easily Austin Arie was going to keep a hold of the title, and they went on the route with the Summer Punk and CM Punk winning the Ring of Honor title on his way out of Ring of Honor, which I thought was a great thing that he, on his way out, he finally, held the Ring of Honor title and easily, one of the most enjoyable matches that during Austin Arie's title reign. Next question is from Rareidea. Does Chris Jericho need a push to the world title? I'm actually one of the people that actually do not mind the little push, little lack there of push or push he's getting right now with the whole Chris Jericho, him versus Shawn Michaels. I think at this point he works good in the upper mid card and close to teetering to the main events. Obviously, he's one of those talents that should be main event, and I think him and CM Punk would do great as a main event for a WWE pay-per-view, and a feud between them will work very well. But with Triple H and Triple H holding them back, and pretty much burying Chris Jericho, you're probably going to see Chris Jericho in this, not really in the mid card, but pretty much he's a upper mid card / somewhat of a main event jobber, but possibly him as world champion. I think that part has kind of sailed away because it's one of those things that they really didn't do Chris Jericho's return that great. His night that he returned, they did good, but after that, you had him lose very quickly when he first got a WWE title shot on his return. Then they had him with the JBL feud. Then pretty much, he's been stuck in this Shawn Michaels feud for a while. So unless they build something up for, within the next 6 months before WrestleMania, he's probably going to be in this upper mid-card role for a little while. And, but he is a good wrestler, and I can see people's point why they do think he deserves, a better treatment than what he's getting at this moment. The next question is from cctitansfan. Which ECW newcomer has the brighter future in your opinion? Evan Bourne, Ricky Ortiz, or Brandon Walker, a.k.a. Chris Harris? Obviously, this is an easy question. Evan Bourne has the best future with them, too. Ricky Ortiz will probably be one of those guys that will pretty much be done with the company very soon. And Chris Harris, pretty much can't see him doing that much with WWE. He'll probably be one of those wrestlers floating around, working dark matches for WWE and being, used in FCW. And, he is a good wrestler. I wish WWE would use him right. If, WWE doesn't use him right, possibly sometime in the future, maybe him and TNA would want to get back on talking terms, and, possibly he would want to work back in TNA sometime in the future, because I do think he is a good singles wrestler, and he's, definitely showcased he could be a good tag team partner as well. But yeah, out of them three, easily Matt Sydal has the best future out of all of them, and pretty much has the brightest future. And looks like he's going to be one guy that's going to be staying around WWE for a little while. Next question is from OzTVAgent. I'm wondering if you play any of the SmackDown vs. Raw games, and if you do, which is your favorite? And also, if you would recommend me getting SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. Recently, I haven't been playing, SmackDown vs. Raw that much. The last 2 years, I haven't really been a fan of either one of them. 2006, I will say, was pretty good, and the year before that was pretty good. Easily, in my opinion, as far as the best control scheme and the most enjoyable wrestling game of all time, which I don't think pretty much is going to be hard to top, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, it's been topped, graphics-wise, but, gameplay-wise, I don't think it's been topped, and that's No Mercy for the N64. That's probably been my, favorite one. And, SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 isn't terrible, but it could have been a whole lot better. As far as you recommending it, it's one of those games I haven't really played it that much to say if it was great or if it was terrible. I just played a little to get a little taste of what it was. I heard it's one of those games that the more you play it, the more you get into it and start liking it. So, especially now with it being pretty cheaper with the new SmackDown vs. Raw coming out very soon, I would probably recommend it just because it's very cheap at this point, and it's a wrestling game, and it's at least a little enjoyable. Next question is from Instant Classic G1. With the NWA title and Ring of Honor now, do you feel it hurts the credibility of the NWA title? It seems like it's a secondary title in ROH rather than a world title. And yes, it does hurt it a little bit, and obviously this does hurt the credibility of the NWA title because, like you said, it is nothing more than a secondary title in Ring of Honor the way it's being used. But I mean, Gabe's booking it, so obviously he's going to book the Ring of Honor title over the NWA title. He's not going to book the NWA title over the Ring of Honor title unless they do some type of Ring of Honor versus NWA title unification match where it actually just one world title between the two. And then, you possibly could, do the NWA title. But Ring of Honor's title has so much prestige behind it that, obviously that's going to get overshadowed by the NWA title, because the NWA title has, it hasn't really meant anything in the last 20 years. I mean, TNA it started to mean a little something, but when TNA got on Spike TV, not that long after, you had it gain pretty worldwide success, as far as being a world title, in TNA for a little bit, but didn't have that old NWA feel to it, where it felt like it was the most important title, even though at some points TNA tried to make it seem like it was, but it wasn't. But yeah, it does hurt the credibility of the title a little bit. But it's good to see the NWA title and Ring of Honor, because it's one of those things that's going to help out NWA and help out Ring of Honor. Obviously,